Hey guys, I feel like each passing moment is just train wrecked with my brain food, with my brain food education saga. As you could see, I want to fund omega-3 education. Fund omega-3 education. And my holistic healers friends are underemployed, and as a snack, as a healthy snacks activist, as an omega-3's wellness, nutritional wellness, and botanical healing advocate and perpetuator, we really want to see these healthy solutions go to work with regards to just favorable dietary habits for mental health stability, favorable for our heart health and our metabolism. So I need to do a press release. Friends, thank you so much for following me. Please follow me, because I'm really trying to find out how we can get support for health and wellness in the community. And there is a need for more brain-supportive nutritional wellness. I know in the psych wards operated by UH, and that there's no omega-3 education programming in conjunction with the mental health services boards. So the mental health services boards are not well versed in this favorable fat balance science, showing that adequate omega-3s, healthy fats are obviously making, I say obviously, well, there's a lot of science to it, but there's obviously, this is a physiological makeup, this is a tissue issue. It's a tissue issue for us. And as a brain food educator for over 5 years with my company Plant Kingdom, tabling and broaching subjects of omega-3 sources and the hemp seed foods, we have this volume of extremely satisfied snackers, healthy breakfast fans. Everybody has been satisfied. I never hear people being like, oh, that snack really wasn't satisfying or didn't keep me going ever. It's always good. People might have issues with the texture, the taste, and we want to incubate no baking with the hemp menu initiative. Anyway, so I just need to talk really quickly about the issues of healthy fat balance strategy in Cleveland because of my advocacy at the mental health services boards of Cuyahoga County. I have presented to them several times that this is one of the things that can is most certainly an asset to mental health recovery, and that we're not affording the mentally ill any nutritional wellness education goes to show that how much we believe in the mentally ill. I'm saying I believe in the mentally ill enough to want them to have a bad fats warning if they're overdoing it in a imbalanced scenario, to call that out. I mean, we can have assessments that are maybe not the sophisticated fat balance tests that the Cleveland Clinic Heart Lab can do, but at least some low-fat, high-fiber options that have clean plant fats, I think, are really something that we could have a poster for clean plant fats and omega-3 education, just like we could have a healthy poster for fiber, and then we need a healthy poster for fiber. We need a healthy eat the rainbow, nature's gifts are a blessing kind of feeling of warmth in these places that are destitute and actually crudified by the bacon and burgers onslaught. When you get a chance to order 3 square meals of meat and white flour buns and white flour English muffins and see 8:30 p.m. white flour ham and mayo sandwiches going out to the overweight kids in the university hospital systems and saying like, we are downtrodding the mentally ill like further. We're not even like encouraged like remotely. I didn't see any remote health encouragement. I was the one talking about omega-3s in the fucking psych ward when I stayed in May. So now we've got the doctor for the Cuyahoga Mental Health Services Boards has said he advises, the secretary says he advises that his patients discover omega-3s and use omega-3s, and then he's an advocate but that he's not going to be involved with any programming. They didn't want to take the lead on advising the mental board on a message to act on, which is like, so through Omega Fats Action Network, the Act on the Science imperative that I am perpetuating with actonfats.com, we just are asking the mental board to be involved with favorable fat balance recommendations and want to be hands-on because of the sustainability stuff that I'm following as a hemp advocate and a not overfishing advocate. We can really make a serious impact for mental health, to improve mental health stability without degrading our environment. And so for the year of 2015, we've been advising. Now I've got emails to the mental health boards and the clinicians. I've got tweets to the clinician. We've got videotape of my presentation, my several times addressing the Cuyahoga County Mental Health Services Boards. I have spoken with UH sustainability professionals, but the UH sustainability professional doctors have not gotten back to me. I have spoken with Representative Tim Ryan on the need for omega-3s education and at the Cuyahoga mental boards, because and like the mental health services of these United States and around the world, this is having to do with what we know is a physiological tissue issue. So that Representative Tim Ryan told me he gets it, good fats versus bad fats, and that he supports nutritional education for doctors by sponsoring the Enrich Act, but has not been chiming in on this. Stop being so tight-lipped, first of all, doctors and politicians. Like, we got to get this straight. Now, I have months of involvement with Senator Portman. We marched behind him for the Hemp Farming Act, the Parma 4th of July parade, which I hope he knows that, like, we wanted to be totally respectful still, but have a role in the parade, and that we really enjoyed that. And now I've been tweeting at him. I've tweeted the opportunity for the Coal Association and Senator Portman to furnish vegan omega-3s and food programs so that we can recover from neurotoxins. And since Portman is such a PTSD head trauma leader, we've been asking for his overt commitment to what he is doing to support omega-3s in our brain cell membrane tissue recovery. And for our preventative wellness. This is a preventative wellness issue. So we have been keeping Senator Portman's office abreast on the nutritional science that the mental board is being informed of. And we've also asked Marcia Fudge's office to bring this up, and we've asked Marcia Fudge's office and Senator Brown's office, because they serve on the agriculture committees of the U.S. House and Senate, to bring up and look up what is in the USDA dietary guidelines for 2015 regarding omega-3s and their specific role combating depression. Now, we saved an article from Shape magazine that we sent to the mental health boards that this was assessed. However, this 550-page document, the dietary guidelines, I do not have the support of a structured nonprofit office around me yet to have this research done appropriately, even though I'm trying to be allocating throughout, who I do know is interested in being involved and working on it. We asked, and that the representatives have not come forward to say that this is so significant that like something's helping against depression, and we have over-medicating our Cs. So OFAN is bringing forth it's imperative to not over-medicate PTSD, not over-medicate. It's an imperative for our water qualities to be not over-medicating these ailments now. That anything working in his favor needs testimony to the state, the agriculture committees, and that I've talked to Dennis Kucinich and Elizabeth Kucinich about and they told me that the representatives were not likely to help me research the USDA dietary guidelines for information to help inform a healthy response to depression. And this is who we fucking have working for us. I'm sorry, like, shitheads, like, fucking shitheads. It's not just fucking, like, I am a fucking health nut, but I want better protection of each other. Like, this is bullshit that we have to do head trauma recovery without enough omega-3s, that the ADHD doctor who's the clinician for the mental health services boards has no recommendations for general public healthy fats education is asinine, because it's keeping people in a state where we have to keep coming back for these meds because we haven't stabilized our own physiology, our own lifestyles in a favorable way that we need to. And at a time when I want to be over the hemp stigma, I feel like the lack of scrutiny on health policies with regard to omega-3 fat balance is, and just a response to omega-3 deficiency, that like I've been working a year to develop a response to omega-3 deficiency, a coherent Brainfood supportive framework for programming, education curricula, amazingness. I love that we can support a sustainable response to omega-3 deficiency without overfishing the oceans, and it's as easy as, well, here's our specialized approaches for psych wards reform, for police reform, and that we've engaged that today, January 11th, 2012, I missed a meeting of the Cuyahoga Mental Health Services Boards, was meeting with the police reformers that are mandated under the consent decree promulgated by the DOJ and the mayor's office in response to aggressive, egregious shootings, and the Tamir Rice shooting. That I was not there today for the Cuyahoga Mental Boards helping the police respond to mentally ill. And this is so imperative, because if the police are going to respond to the mentally ill, we want there to be greater support for health awareness within the police force to assure that these fatty acid imbalance scenarios are not impairing the cops' cognitive functions. And when we know that like a healthy attitude can be aided by favorable nutritional wellness, certainly a deficiency checkup on minerals and omega-3s. These are things that, and vitamins, certain vitamins that we know was presented in Dr. Hyman's neurological conference presentation that the Cleveland Clinic's Health Innovation Summit this year in 2015, was that a diet against dementia, like he's a diet against dementia leader. We've now been in touch with his office about the making healthy programming possible through the Adams Board, because now that we know that the Adams Board is working with police reform, and that the health education in police reform is one of these last frontiers, really, for police reform, and now that the Attorney General's office has had many months since February 2015. I presented to to the DOJ's Peace Officers Training Commission, and that body of several sheriffs heard from me, and that we want a healthy fat balance strategy to be a blessing at this time. So when the DOJ Peace Officers Training Commission has nothing to say, like, we get it that there's not, that all the police reform energy is going towards body armor and assorted things like that, and like, you know, that's imperative, that like lots of that happen for any public trust PR recovery things to occur there with police relations. This is a volatile fucking scenario, and people think that they're on it because they're doing anything in police reform, when we're calling this out. This is a blatant health risk that cops are likely running, at least when I have to deal with it as an omega-3's wellness advocate. I have to fucking worry about if the cops don't want to take my recipe card. That's like bad news. Like, maybe their fucking brain tissues are or they're irritated. They're running they're fucking irksome because they're running mental health risks associated with omega-3 deficiency. And that we know that, fat is really popular. People like fried and donuts, and there's a place for it. And we want it. We don't want people fucking, like, deprived of anything just because we can switch to, switch out some bad fats, lots of bad fats, and have like less of this junk omega-6 that's in the shelf-stable vegetable oil product foods. Like, if you have a salad dressing and it's like, omega-3s are in hemp and flax, and omega-9 is in olive oil and avocados, and the omega-6, like, I think that we're growing so much omega-6 is a reason to support a healthy fat balance in Agriculture Network, Ohio for Fat Balance in Agriculture, which is my Brainfood farming rights advocacy and crop diversification advancing arm of Omega Fats Action Network. And so, when you put up that sign for Ohio for Fat Balance in Agriculture as a green business, as a pro-plant business, we want to just get a message across, like, Brainfood is for, anybody to, hopefully at least have our full sprouting rights throughout all these United States for the industrial hemp crop. That's non-negotiable. We've been oppressed as an agricultural people, as a cannabis fan. I feel oppressed by the, you just take a look around. Like, our prisoners are fucking in jail because they had a love affair with a sacred botany, with a miracle healing resource. And that people are fucking getting gunned down in drug violence, and that we can't get a straight answer from our Governor Kasich, who puts on that he's listening to doctors, but like, we could scream and like point like to 100 doctors and 100 ailments that were like miraculously healed through cannabis healing, and this guy would still feel like Ohio has this bitch ass bullshit where we don't want to be more progressive than the federal government. We don't want to advance anything. We don't want to no, like, we're the fucking like bullied. Our state's fucking bullied because if you fucking try to promote clean air too much in a city like Rubber City, Akron, oh, guess what? That's fucking controversial. You can't be too eco in Akron without pissing off Goodyear and First Energy. And apparently, when we're trying to have meat-free Mondays included in comprehensive manure runoff mitigation, there is an element on the North Coast that, guess what? Oh, that's not nice enough to the livestock families and like bullshit. It's their poop we have to clean up, that we are all collectively affected by the amount of poop, the amount of animals, the horrendous fucking treatment that this bullshit that we're supposed to fucking like have not be doing anything for sustainable farming leadership besides farm to school, that Marsha Fudge supports farm to school, but she's not on meat-free Mondays yet, and that Senator Brown is on the Agriculture Committee and supports the little guys and regenerative agriculture in the urban settings, but he's got $2 million for buffer zones and reducing the nutrient runoff through land use management and through studies that we don't have, that the Humane Society and the Sierra Club have to struggle to keep like a couple activists like actively looking for menu changes leadership scenarios. Like, what? We have like a couple people fucking holding on to like all these food service, like all this like the dead animal bodies being served everywhere, and we're supposed to have like we could fucking have like $15,000 to promote heart healthy fiber like in the inner city where there are like so many fucking health risks. And that's why like as like prime time, like I'm asking for millionaires and billionaires to support a regenerative, healthy snack access in troubled zones of the planet, first off, and nutritional wellness in these abando kind of corridors of the Midwest where it needs so much love and is crying out. I mean, crying out for love. So when things are just not matching up, like the manure policy for the state is not matching up with the ground game of promoting, at least promoting veggie meals to reduce the manure going into our waterways. That is imperative, okay? And that we don't have the federal climate policy is not matching up with helping conserve the water that's going to wash the dead animal bodies at the slaughter plants. These are point sources of pollution that account for over 20% of surface water pollution is toxic discharges from slaughter plants. In these United States, it's the number one cause of dead zones, a top cause of the dead zones. Along with, you add in the Roundup and the fertilization dead zones that have caused the dead zones in the Gulf of Mexico and exacerbate our toxic algae blooms in the fresh waters throughout anywhere, not just the Great Lakes. When we have a chance to say, okay, the federal climate policy isn't helping enough with agriculture, and the state manure management policy isn't helping enough to support segments of the agricultural economy and stimulate demand for segments of the agricultural economy that have nothing to do with animals pooping in our waterways. So there are two things right there that I'd ask for your help today on the Act on Farts hashtag that the network I'm part of to support agricultural progress is appealing to climate leaders to support comprehensive methane reductions through divestments of the Roundup Ready factory farm supply chain. And that, we agree, like, this is a good thing, if the climate movement for clean energy can get great divestment great divestment demonstrations going for against fossil fuels. You know, we want to support healthy and vegetarian folks to get active to support divestments from the factory farms, because we're seeing that if the we don't have a chance to compensate for this methane disaster in Southern California if we don't curb a significant amount of these breeding programs and and take 3 million cars off the road. I'm saying to the climate leaders, split it up. You know, if you want to be taking multimodal, you know, really go hard on that for methane right now. And if you want to be an agriculture stewardship caretaker, healer, and fiber booster, and eat the rainbow booster, and clean plant fats booster, you could do that by supporting just North American staple vegetable protein sources, lentils and hemp seeds. So the lentil launch is what we're asking the climate leaders. Now this is a chance for the climate leaders to reach out to the healthcare leaders that haven't reformed their psych wards to be healthier, to work with the mental boards and to develop a pro-plant fat balanced menu to support in these recovery resource centers. That, as what I want to do with Act on Fats, is support the service of the plant sources for omega-3s and do that, you know, hopefully free of hemp stigma, because I'm a big hemp for protein fan and hemp for immune supportive minerals fan, and that there's brain supportive things happening with the fatty acids in hemp. GLA and SDA are advanced chains of omega-6 and omega-3, and these could be functioning in ways for PTS recovery that people barely understand, but they're definitely there as advanced chain fats that our body could use in ways that our body can't use just store-bought soybean oil salad dressing or some fucking fried chicken. So keep it real, guys. Help me connect these dots, and as I write this paper today to write the brain food education saga for Cuyahoga County, we are gonna need your help. Please click to recommend Omega Fats Action Network on your to your Facebook friends, and share Act on Fats and Act on Farts. Alright, lots of love. And let me sing the song. It's like, it might sound like I'm a nutritional nerdy prick, but sometimes you know we gotta favor organic. It might sound like I'm a saving antibiotics tip, but sometimes you know we gotta call steak like it is. You know you never really knew how much you loved veg till you left meat, did you? You know you never really knew how much the selfish bullshit cost pigs. Well, fuck you. It might sound like I'm an unapologetic bitch, but this time I'm covering Madonna to get a healthy agricultural message out, and you can help. Help me help save our world. Mwah!